This day on News 12 Varsity, a day in the lives of a high school football player they will never forget. It is the 2016 Long Island Championships. It is a live look at James Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University, where the Long Island Class 1 Championship all comes down to this. Two teams in our News 12 Varsity Top 25. Representing Suffolk County, the Colonials of William Floyd at number 16, and representing Nassau County, the Red Devils of Freeport at number 17. The other side for the Red Devils of Freeport. Well, you and I sat with Russ Sellon this week talking football, and he said something that stopped us in our tracks when we brought up Rashad Tucker. He said Rashad Tucker is the most electrifying player he has ever coached. That is a statement when you think about the list of electrifying Red Devils.
Without a doubt. And it's a list that, of course, includes Isaiah Barnes, who was here just a few years ago. But look, Tucker does it all. He is very much the most explosive player on all of Long Island because he's that dual threat guy. He slings it with his left arm. And then you see right there, he gets out in the open field. He jukes, he jives, and he finds the end zone. A tremendous athlete and also a 3-year starter. He's been on varsity since his freshman year. Almost guided them to a playoff win that first year.
And that career has led him to this moment, the Nassau playoffs, where time after time again against the Dalers of Farmingdale, Tucker went for big plays. His mission? To get Freeport their 5th ever Long Island Championship. So here we go. 48 minutes of football in Long Island Class 1. The Red Devils and the Colonials. The hardware is, of course, on the line for these two schools. And at the end, one will call themselves a Long Island champ. It's all next, right here on News 12 Varsity. Super Friday for Long Island High School football, the day after Thanksgiving at Hofstra, and it's time for the Long Island Class 1 Football Championship. William Floyd and Freeport, and Amanda Puglisi, first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving. As always, and Amanda, when you think about these two schools, you think about football, you think about two head coaches. These are two legendary Mount Rushmore kind of coaches.
And you're right, Jimmy. And when you look at it, we're going to call this one round 4 between these two legendary guys. Of course, you have Coach Sellon from Freeport, and then you have Coach Longo from William Floyd. And Coach Sellon has won the last 3. So Coach Longo really is looking to change that today. And when I spoke to him earlier in the day, he refers to this one as his Freeport curse. And he's had success in the LICs, just for some reason not against Coach Sellon. So like I said, he's looking to change that. And for Coach Sellon, he says this one's actually just round number 1. Each time that they face each other, it's been a different team. And the first time these two teams faced in 2003, there are some guys on this Freeport team, they were only 3 years old. And the last 2 times these two coaches faced each other, none of these guys were in high school. So regardless of how you look at this rivalry and this matchup, you know that both of these coaches come into this game ready to compete for a Long Island championship.
And there is Paul Longo, a graduate of St. John the Baptist High School, went on to St. John's University, and Dylan Butler. We had some fun in our meeting with Paul Longo. He said, yes, listen, they have beaten me in the only 3 times I played in the LIC. But then he said, where was Freeport in 2005, 6, and 7? That's when I needed them.
That's right. He also was very uncomfortable with that being even a storyline. He doesn't even want to talk about a bucket list or wanting to beat Sellon, but it is true. That's the only team in the Long Island Championships that Coach Longo has been unable to beat.
William Floyd and their Road Whites, the Nassau County champion Red Devils of Freeport and their home Reds. The Long Island Class 1 Championship is underway at Hofstra. And kicking off and receiving it will be the Colonials of William Floyd. James Tate. Tate brings it across the 20-yard line, and here comes the ground and pound offense for the Colonials of William Floyd and their QB, Robert Tyani. Tyani has done an outstanding job here in his junior year leading this Colonial offense.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's not asked to throw the ball very often in this run-heavy set that the Colonials do have, but he can certainly throw it. He's done a good job, especially in the play action, but no doubt his main job right now is to just hand off to number 23.
So 1st and 10 now for William Floyd. First play of the game in this LIC. A little motion by A.J. Ray. Here we go. Second back through. They'll pound it on the inside. to Silva. And we'll take a look at this offense now for the Colonials of William Floyd. These are the decorated guys up front. Davis, Burbage, Amato, Carney, and Goldie. They have been spectacular. The skilled guys, Silva, Galasso, Ray, Bradley, and Joya. Call it 2nd down and 8 now. Nothing doing there. Great job at the point of attack. On the tackle that time was Robert Fitzsimmons, the middle linebacker. Fitzy has been awesome. Ike, Keyless, Alexander, Cruz. The linebackers Fitzsimmons, Schmeichel, and Thomas, and the secondary athletes, and then some. Grayson, Hood, Oliver, and Tucker. Fitzsimmons, great read and react right there. What a season for Robert Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, 2-year starter at linebacker. The resident tough guy, Coach Sellen calls him.
3rd down and long to the right side, keeping it short of the 1st down. Good job on defense. Savion Dewar. And Dewar just playing the ball carrier all the way. Good tackle there, and that'll bring the punt team out for William Floyd.
And of course, this also means be wary of the playmakers of Freeport, because deep right now is Rashad Tucker. We talked about him at the top. He is their quarterback, but he can also return it to the house.
Always a dangerous proposition for the Colonials on this day. Tyani back to punt. Or check that, Ryan Cruz, I should say. Cruz, great job right there. Doesn't even give Tucker a chance. So Ryan Cruz gets off a good kick. It'll go out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and that's where Freeport will take over.
And there you see the QB, Rashad Tucker, and we talked about him at the top. Came up as a freshman because of an injury, nearly led them to the win over Syosset in the playoffs. He is very much the face of this franchise. That was DeVell Hooks who got hurt as a freshman, and he started every game since. He runs track in the winter and spring, and all-county player, 3-year starter, and of course, and Russ Sellen can't say enough about what Tucker has done for this program.
In the backfield next to Jared Ray, and these guys have been incredible touchdown makers all year long. So here is Tucker on 1st down, first play of the game. Tucker does a good job. He was going for the fake on the hitch and the deep ball, but Floyd had the deep ball covered. And with the hitch man, Nick Oliver covered, he throws that ball out of bounds, bring up 2nd down. Fitzsimmons, Dewar, Louder, Cruz, and Thomas up front for the Devils. The skilled guys, and boy, there are many of them. Ray, Grayson, Hood, Oliver, and Campbell. These guys have put up unbelievable numbers this year.
Yeah, pick your poison with any of those guys. If you are Floyd, no doubt you've had nightmares all week trying to figure out how to stop those guys.
Yeah, nearly 1,300 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, 27 touchdowns. And you can go on and on about Rashad Tucker. On the keeper here, Tucker straight up the gut, and Tucker is loose on 2nd down. He'll cross over Floyd territory. Big gainer there for Rashad Tucker as he accelerates through the hole.
And a few of the big guys up front for Floyd bit on that fake. You see the fake to number 6, Elijah Campbell, and then he goes for 26 yards up the field, 1st down into Floyd territory. So first big play of the game goes to the guy who is the big game player for Freeport.
So 1st and 10 now for the Red Devils from the Floyd 44-yard line. Tucker now. Quick out to Jalen Hood. Hood's got some room along the right side. To the outside. Jalen Hood is loose. Down the sidelines. Jalen Hood will go. It is a touchdown for the Red Devils. Big play. Hood delivers in the Long Island Championship.
Oh, life is good for a Hood. The last 2 weeks, he was spectacular. Had 2, count them 2, kickoff returns for touchdowns in the Nassau Conference 1 championship game against Freeport. And there you see, takes the ball 44 yards for the score. His 9th receiving touchdown of the year. And just like that, Freeport has the lead.
Extra point is up and good. That off the hook, the foot of Will Pressbury. But Jalen Hood, the 2-year starter, the electrifying young man who plays lacrosse in the spring, but in the fall, he has been running and gunning for this Red Devil offense for Russ Selland. And when it comes to Hood, Dylan Butler, just get the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. Into space, wherever you could do it. There you see just a short pass. Great block upfield. I believe that was Campbell. And then Hood does the rest. Gets into the end zone, just gallops down the sideline. Here's another look. Short pass. Great block. And then Hood does the rest.
So it didn't take long for Freeport to strike. They have picked up right where they left off in their dismantling of the Dalers of Farmingdale in the Nassau County Championship. 3 plays, 66 yards. The big one, the 44-yarder to Hood, who takes it the distance. It took only a minute and 41 seconds.
And that's long for some of the Freeport drives.
Freeport has just gone to town making big plays in the Nassau County playoffs. I mean, it is amazing what they have done via the big play. Now the kickoff temporarily hits the turf, crossing over the 25 to about the 26, where he takes a big pop there on the coverage. Terrence Edmond alongside of Nick Oliver. Good to see James Tate pop back up. So for Paul Longo now, he wanted to control the chains, control the clock, and move the ball. Hey, no time to panic here, only down 7, but they want to respond here in the LIC.
Absolutely, and it is very much a contrast to the styles where Freeport is those quick strike, big plays where Floyd will methodically move the ball up the field. So this is a big statement here for Floyd to make. And, of course, to give it back to number 23, Nicky Silva.
Handoff 23, Nick Silva.
No, you're not going to get William Floyd out of their game plan just yet.
56, Robert
Still
Fitzsimmons for Freeport.
The entire body of the game
also there,
left to go. So Silva will go off. Silva, of course, a sophomore, but the 12th game of his sophomore year, and a cat that started as a freshman. So he's one of those veteran sophomores for Paul Longo. Longo, wonderful run this year in winning his 10th Suffolk County Championship. That ties a guy you might have heard of, the legend Joe Sipp in Belport. 10 county titles. Wow. Second down now for the Colonials. A little play action here, and look at this. On the rollout is Tyani. He will go down. Freeport not buying it. Speed to the edge right there by the Red Devils. To Sean Thomas coming with some gusto.
Yeah, we said earlier that's Tyani's strength to play action, but he's got nothing there, and a great job by Thomas jumping up in the play as a wrestler and the cross player, all conference in wrestling last year, and a 2-year starter at linebacker. And this puts Floyd into an uncomfortable situation, 3rd and long. Again, a team that really doesn't throw the ball very often.
Yeah, Thomas, you mentioned the wrestling. Russ Selland, long-time wrestling coach. He's coached more wrestling matches than football. He loves the pedigree of the wrestler. Running some wildcat now is Mac Driver.
Number 1, Mac Driver.
So Driver short of the first down on 3rd and long. And 3rd and long is just the place William Floyd does not want to be. So now they'll have to punt the football away again. So Ryan Cruz, just 5 minutes into this game, less than 5, he's got to punt it away again, trying to avoid the playmakers in Grayson and Tucker. And you can see the strategy here, but they'll walk a tightrope. That ball will go out of bounds right around midfield. So just the threat of Tucker being back there really changes the approach for the punter in this game. And Freeport will take over what a short field. They are only 51 yards away from the end zone. Ball sits at their own 49.
So really, one play away from possibly breaking it the way that they get those big plays. And for the Floyd defense again, too, they've been stout all year long. This is the ultimate test. They faced a similar test in the Suffolk Division I final against the playmakers of Ward Melville, but this is an entirely different bunch of playmakers for Freeport.
Thank you.
1st and 10 now for Tucker. They'll fake the give. Little read option by Tucker. Good job on the defense there. Scraping down the line is Keith Winfrey for William Floyd. And Winfrey, rock solid year for Winfrey.
2-yard gain.
Another sophomore in there for Paul Longo.
Yeah, Longo's got a few. Again, it's very much about the present, but when you look at the future of the Colonials, a lot of youth there, including number 8, Winfrey, a starting defensive end last year as a 9th grader.
2nd down now. Back to throw is Tucker. Tucker now escapes the pocket, spins away from one defender. I think he'll be just short of the 1st down, so bring 3rd and short against this defense of William Floyd. And they have done the job. Not a prolific, wide-open offense, but these guys, Winfrey, Lakowski, Klaufer, Davis up front. Bradley, Silva, Torres, and Driver, outstanding linebacker group. And the secondary, big year. Ray, Zach, and Primus. And Keith Winfrey, he is a load. What a future for Winfrey. 6'2", 250 pounds as a 10th grader. To the left side, look out here. Jared Ray now. Jared Ray is loose down the left sideline. And Jared Ray. Well, it's amazing to think Jared Ray, 9 touchdowns on the year. Jalen Hood now, 17 touchdowns on the year. Elijah Campbell, 19 touchdowns on the year. Rashad Tucker, 27 touchdowns on the year. A loaded arsenal of weapons.
Absolutely, and again, it's pick your poison. That time it was Ray, the senior. 2-year starter, gets out for 25 yards, comes into this game with 664 yards, rushing 4 touchdowns, a big 1st down, and they've got themselves inside the red zone.
16-yard line. They swing it out this time to Hood. Hood shakes off one tackle. Now Hood bounces to the outside, still on his feet. Look at Jalen Hood go. Finally taken down at the 6-yard line. But Jalen Hood, count the Colonials that had a chance to take down number 3. You'll probably get to about 4 or 5.
And that's, again, that elusiveness. We'll take another look. Tucker drops back. Another short pass. Here's 1.
Gain of 9 yards.
There's 2. There's 3.
2nd down and 1.
4, 5 before he's finally taken down. You're right, Jim. And again, that's they had so many big plays with those cutbacks. Again, it's not just a straight route with any of these guys. They're all very, very elusive.
Terrence Edmonds split wide right. Here we go, 2nd down and short. Tucker options it out this time to Ray. Ray cuts it back, and the Floyd defense answers the bell. They will lose yardage there. Winfrey has been impressive in the 1st quarter here.
Yeah, and Longo is very high on Winfrey. We said it a moment ago. He's only a sophomore, but he's got great size, right? 6'2", 245. He thinks if he can grow a little bit, and he's got some time to do that, he will go to a big-time college. And there you see the pitch outside. Great tackle by Winfrey.
So they'll lose 2 on the play, brings up 3rd down and 3. Chris Alexander in the backfield now. Full house backfield for Tucker. Here come the Devils. He'll give it off to the left side. Jared Ray. Ray will get up close to the 1st down. And if you're Freeport now, that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about getting this 1st down and goal. The ball will be spotted at about the 6-yard line. So we'll see. Very close to a 1st down, and they will bring it out for a measurement. Russ Sellen, 31st year. Came out of Lindenhurst High School. Imagine once upon a time, Russ Sellen was a Bulldog. And what a storied career he has had at Freeport. Took over in 1986. He inherited a program, Dylan, that had lost 14 straight games. He was just a puppy. As you see, they will have the 1st down. And the great thing about the Russ Sellen story, the 14-game losing streak his 1st year, what do they do 1st game on the road at Uniondale?
Well, they win that one. He was really excited about that. They ended up going 4-4 that year. It was very successful. He said, look, right away he fell in love with Freeport's community, coaching that team, and he's been there ever since, 31 years.
That streak didn't last even one game. First and goal now for Rashad Tucker. Tucker now hands it off to the right side. A.J. Grayson will walk into the end zone. It is a touchdown for Freeport. They have struck again in the LIC. A.J. Grayson.
Grayson is a first-year player here at Freeport. He's transferred in from St. Peter's. They had a clinic, Jim, over the summer at Freeport. The great Marlon Greenwood, of course, a member of the Nassau County High School Hall of Fame, ran it. AJ's dad, Claude, as the extra point is up, off the post and no good. Father Claude walks over and says, hey, Coach Sellen, how you doing? And I just wanted to let you know my son is going to come here. We just moved into the district. He goes, which one is your son? Oh, he's that guy right there who's all jacked up. And Sellen goes, hey, sounds good to me. Come on board.
Glad you moved into Freeport. And Grayson, he's a playmaker, combination of speed, toughness. Look at the speed to get to the edge here. And he makes it look easy getting into the end zone.
Yeah, just right to the outside, and he essentially walks into the end zone, and great start so far for the Red Devils.
And next year, it'll be his. Grayson will be the feature back next year as this play goes 7 plays, 51 yards. Took 339, the big play, 25-yard run by Jared Ray, but A.J. Grayson, the 6-yard touchdown run. And boy, Freeport now has struck, and they have sent a message to this Long Island championship that they are not kidding around.
And this is where things get dangerous for Floyd, because they're not a team that has this big strike ability. They're methodical moving the football up the field, so a big deficit really does not work well for them.
So if you're William Floyd and Paul Longo, plenty of time here. We're not even through one quarter of play. Championship caliber program. You know we will hear from the Colonials in this one. Braden Zach back deep. And it'll be Zach settling under it, or will it? Taken away by A.J. Ray. Ray now crosses over the 20-yard line, slips through. Good job by the specials of Freeport on the tackle there. Johnny Maivecchi, the junior.
You got to wonder if there's just some early nerves here for Floyd. We saw almost a miscue on the kickoff, a fumble on the one before that was recovered. So Floyd maybe battling a little bit of nerves. Again, this Stewart Stadium is a foreign venue for them, of course, playing out in Suffolk County, out in God's country, out there in Mastic Beach.
So Tiani and company now facing a 2-touchdown deficit, but breaking loose is Silva. Nick Silva is loose down the right sideline. Nick Silva crosses the 40 inside the 30-yard line, and Slick Nick, the sophomore, breaks free for William Floyd, and the Colonials have been heard here in the first quarter of this LIC, their first big play of the game.
Oh, yeah, who said they can't get big plays? Oh, yeah, that was me. No, Silva, what a great job. And how about the block by A.J. Ray up the field? Here he comes. Silva recognizes it. Again, he's not the fastest. He runs right to where Ray is, and Ray lays the wood, gets him a few extra yards for the 47-yard gain. Here it is again. Watch him run right to Ray.
Watch the juke he tries to put on Hood here. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, Silva. Now on first down, inside the 30-yard line. They pound it straight up the gut and picking up good yardage here. And this is what you want to be if you're William Floyd. You can tell this offensive line came out with a little sense of urgency. On the carry right there was James Tate.
Yeah, and what a story James Tate has been for the Colonials. He started the year, Jimmy, as their third-string running back. A programmed kid, battled his way up. In the Suffolk County Finals, ran for a career-high 140 yards, basically spelling Silva almost every other possession.
And got into the end zone, most importantly, in the county championship. Here's Silva now to the right side, runs through the first tackle. Silva extends the ball. He's going to be very close to a first down. The ball will be spotted at about the 19. We could be looking at another measurement here. Could be just shy, so you call it third and less than 1. But this is a situation that the Colonials want to be in with Nicky Silva. 190-pound sophomore. He grew up running and gunning for the Lynn Vets, the William Floyd feeder program, and he's been running and gunning ever since. Out of the eye now, William Floyd, third down and a short one. Second back through is Tate. Tate will move the chains. It is a first down for William Floyd. He is inside the 15.
And how does he get there? He follows big old Teddy Galasso. And what a job Galasso does. Galasso, by the way, he just loves a hit. He sees linebackers and he just goes right after them. And that's the job of the fullback. He wasn't even supposed to really be on the varsity this year. He was an offensive lineman. But then he said, listen, coach, I'm going to be on the varsity. Let me figure out a way to do it. Longo puts him at fullback, and then he does the rest.
1st and 10 now. Galasso, the fullback. The feature back is Silva. Silva gets some early contact, and this play won't go too far. Good penetration that time by Deshaun Thomas. And Thomas got that early contact, which you want to get on Silva. Silva, big, powerful, bruising back. You want to get those little freight trains before they get the wheels a-turning.
Yeah, Silva in the Suffolk County Championship game had a bit of a hamstring injury. Didn't practice earlier in the week, so he's going to be he's not going to have as many carries as he has in other games, but Tate has done such a good job. They don't have a problem with them going every other down.
DeAndre Primus split wide right. Second down. It's Tate. Tate finds some room, but that hole closes in a hurry. Great speed on this Freeport defense. They get to the spot in a hurry. Watch Robert Fitzsimmons and Nicky Oliver. It looks like there's some daylight for a second.
Yeah, Galasso had the first block. Did a good job on Hood, but then, like you said, Fitzsimmons comes in, and he comes in fast. He's really what Coach Sellon says is what you want out of a linebacker. He sets the tempo and gets guys in the right place.
He has been impressive early on in this game. Third down and long now for William Floyd. They can still get a first down. Here comes Nicky. He's rumbling. He's going to have the first down. And William Floyd is on the move. Silva found some daylight. And William Floyd very close to that first down. Maybe a little shy. I thought he had it originally, but it appears he will be just short. So now decision time for Coach Longo.
I was going to say, I'm surprised they don't have a measurement, but you're right. Looking at the sticks on the far side, he's just a yard away. Look, this Floyd offense has gotten this yard all year long. Three-year starters, you would expect them certainly to go for it. Now they will bring out the change just to make sure they get a measurement.
Well, Dilly, I mean, listen, you don't need to be Bill Parcells, and I'm talking about you and I, to think that Paul Longo knows he's going to have to score touchdowns to beat Freeport in this game. Freeport, they're a touchdown-making machine, and he has the first down, so there will be no decision. See that? I was right after all. So Coach Longo now, his team has gotten that air of confidence back. Led by this offensive line, they've gotten a good push on this series, and now they have a first and goal at the 3. And this is where Coach Longo wants to play power football.
Yeah, he didn't expect to be a power team at the start of the year. Kind of thought he'd run the spread, have that run-pass option like so many teams on Long Island, but then they became an I-formation team.
Galasso, the lead back. James Tate goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Tate. William Floyd has broken through in the Long Island Championship. The Colonials are on the board.
And how much did the Colonials need that touchdown at that spot? And James Tate, the guy to deliver it. But again, those big dudes up front, they put a licking on their opponents, and they do such a great job, especially those three-year stars. I'm talking Rocky Davis, number 63, Greg Amato, number 64, and Brian Carney, number 55.
Extra point is up and good. So Sebastian puts it through the uprights, but again, the lead blocker is Teddy G, and Tate follows him.
Yeah, Tate just gets right through the hole and gets in the end zone. Standing, here's another look at it. Galasso, the lead block. What a job
77 yards in 8 plays.
by Galasso.
3 minutes, 43 seconds, the length of the drive.
So you feel that's when they obviously, I mean, they needed it because of the score, but also just that feeling. Maybe there was, again, some early nerves, some trepidation, but now they're in this game. They feel good about themselves, those Colonials.
8 plays, 77 yards. It took 3:37. The big play was the run by Silva, but in the end, Tate will finish it. And that sideline has to feel a lot better about their situation. But now it comes down to getting their defense off the field. Final seconds of this first quarter still to go. But for William Floyd, they would love to get Nick Silva and the offense right back out there.
And the good thing about that drive for the Colonials, obviously they get the 7 points, but they also get their defense off the field for a few minutes. They could rest, they could relax, they can talk some strategy. So they were on the field a lot. Again, those early 3 and outs kept them on the field a lot early on in this first quarter.
With the team for William Floyd sets the off. Sebastian Benicio. Double deep for the Red Devils. Number 2, AJ Grayson.
So, Jim, kickoff returns, you speak to Coach Sellen, was, he'd say, the weakest part of their special teams. He changed that tone a little bit after Jalen Hood runs 2 back to the house against Farmingdale in the Nassau County Conference 1 final.
Number 3 is hot, but if you kick it away from Hood, A.J. Grayson is the other guy back there. William Floyd has to be careful where they put this ball. And they'll go with a little flop kick. It'll be a fair catch. So Freeport, prudent fair catch that time by Nick Oliver. They'll take over at the 35-yard line for this final play of the first quarter.
So pretty much true to form this first quarter that we've seen. The playmakers for Freeport have come up big, and we've also seen Floyd push the ball downfield and get their touchdown. So we said it was a battle of contrasting styles, the speed of Freeport, the power of Floyd. We've seen it both.
So Freeport, one final play here in the first quarter. Rashad Tucker delivered 2 touchdowns in this offense in this quarter. They lead 13-7, but it's a 1-possession game. Handoff straight ahead, Jared Ray. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. There is a flag here.
Number 18, Winfrey.
Wow, this could be a personal foul going against William Floyd for a shot to the head.
Yeah, especially as late as it came. And we'll get the call. But usually any of those late ones, dead ball, there it is. Personal foul, wow.
So this will move the ball
Personal foul
into William Floyd territory. Bobby Miller and his outstanding crew, Mr. Brown, Mr. O'Connor, DeLillo, great crew here on the LIC. So Freeport struck first in this first quarter, and they came right at him with the playmaker, A.J. Grayson. But then, of course, James Tate would answer. This scoreboard update brought to you by Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME to get a free The Sloman Shield security system. Shield your home, the Sloman Shield. Six-point lead for Russ Sellen and the Red Devils, and they will start this second quarter in pretty good shape. They have a lead, And they have the ball at a 1st and 10, basically at midfield. Battle of two of our top 25 teams in our News 12 Varsity Top 25. On a spectacular Friday after Thanksgiving, this the 25th year of the Long Island Championship. Loading up, throwing a deep ball down the left side. This is going to be a touchdown. Jalen Hood runs under it. Tucker let it fly, and the Hood has his second of the day, 51 yards.
Well, we said Tucker could throw the ball, and we see it right there. Tucker just launches one with that powerful left arm of his, and who does he find? His man, Jalen Hood. Talk about quick strike ability. And that was just single coverage. That was just beat your man downfield, and that's just what Hood did. As Freeport responds to Floyd's touchdown with one of their own. Flags.
Will Presby in for the extra point. They'll blow it dead. Jalen Hood.
So the penalty goes against Floyd, and the conversation now with Bob Miller and Russ Sellen on whether or not they want to go for two or just leave the extra point crew on the field.
And they will go for two. Russ Sellen puts up 2 fingers, and out will come Hood and the offensive personnel. So with the ball going inside the 2-yard line, Russ Sellen, his quick strike ways continue. First 12 minutes and 9 seconds of this game. 3 touchdowns on the board for Tucker and company. And William Floyd, all the energy they put into the Colonial Nation with that touchdown, sees the momentum quickly shift back to the Red Devils. And now Russ Sellen wants to talk about it. Did not like the look of the alignment for his Red Devils. So Coach Sellen, it's amazing to think in the decorated history of Freeport, the Red Devils, Russ Sellen felt like they were in a little bit of a drought.
Yeah.
Not being here, basically 2011, they lost to East Meadow in the Nassau County Championship. Since then, they've played 4 football seasons without getting a Nassau County title or to the Long Island Championship. And when you're a program like Freeport, they felt it.
Without a doubt. And look, in the dog days of the summer and in those, when camp broke in late August, the mantra was get back to Hofstra. Now, of course, Hofstra is also the site of the semifinals as well as the finals in Nassau County, but they hadn't been there for that either. They've had 3 straight years of losing in the quarterfinals, and for Russ Sellen, that felt like an eternity.
He said it wasn't for a lack of effort. It just doesn't always pay off with titles. The effort was always there. Going for 2 now is Tucker and company. Here's Tucker now. He'll give off to the right side. This is Grayson. Grayson turns the corner, and he will get there. You can't miss tackles against the Red Devils. They will make you pay.
And again, you just get guys out in space, and they find the way to get in the end zone. That was Grayson doing so, and Oliver providing the late block. And 21-7, the lead here for the Red Devils. And that's all you need. 2 plays, 65 yards.
Now you're going to see Hood, Jalen Hood, on a go route here, but you can't put the ball in a better spot than Tucker. Steps into this throw, drops it right in the window.
Perfect pass. It wasn't either that pass was going to be ahead of Hood or Hood was catching it. There was no way that ball was going to get picked off. He put it in exactly the right spot that he needed, and Hood did the rest, finding the back of the end zone.
16th touchdown pass of the season for Rashad Tucker. I mean, there have been some legendary names who have suited up for the Red Devils. Isaiah Barnes, Leslie Jackman, Clifton Smith.
The Beast.
Even the great Jerome Pettis at one time started his career at Freeport. But when you think about Barnes and Jackman and Smith, and Rashad Tucker, he fits right into that ring of honor of Red Devils. He stands right with those guys on that Freeport Mount Rushmore.
And Sellen says it, and again, he's not a guy prone to hyperbole, but he says he can do things I've never seen high school guys do before. I've seen him put guys into the ground without even touching them. He says when he gets out in the open field, I just sit back and enjoy because it is fun to watch.
He is a Thorpe candidate. It will be tough for somebody to get that award away from him the way he has played. A.J. Ray will take the kickoff, and Ray will get up to about the 24-yard line where he is tackled by Chris Alexander. Freeport has been very sound on specials so far in this game. And now Paul Longo, William Floyd. First 2 possessions, 11 yards. Last touch, they went 77 and a touchdown. They are down 14 now to Freeport.
Yeah, they're looking for something obviously similar to last because, again, the problem with playing Freeport, especially if they're going to have their playmaker scores, you've got to match them punch for punch. And for Floyd, that means getting into the end zone here to pull within a touchdown.
So 1st and 10 now for William Floyd. Here's Tiani. Tate, second back through. He'll pick up a couple, but he is stacked up. And boy, 56, Robert Fitzsimmons all over it once again. Fitzsimmons, number 56 in red and white, Dylan, was named captain for the Freeport Red Devils as a junior.
That doesn't happen often.
That does not happen really ever. I mean, you ask Russ Sellen, who else was a captain as a junior, and he said, let me think, maybe Clifton Smith? I mean, so it's like when you think about that kind of accomplishment, the quarterback of the defense, what a job he did a week ago against Jordan McClune and Farmingdale. The game of the season for him on defense. On 2nd down. Boy, there is no back down in Nicky Silva, but the Red Devil defense comes up and honors his physicality with some physicality of their own.
Yeah, the Floyd sideline wanting a late hit. Not called.
Fitzy just looks like a bull. 6'4", 230.
And can you imagine, he also plays lacrosse. Can you imagine him with a lacrosse stick in his hands? And there's the initial contact, and no foul there.
Well, Fitzy's wrap was in bounds, and the toss to the ground was just the completion of the play. So good job by Bobby Miller and his crew to give him a little leniency there. 3rd down now, call it 7. Back to pass is Tiani. He's got good time to survey the field. Good coverage by the defense, and Tiani will just throw it away.
Pass is incomplete.
He couldn't find his receivers. Guys like Ray have done it all year long for him, but again, the speed up front. We talk about the speed and the playmakers, but the speed that they have in all facets,
William Floyd,
as well as up front with Fitz and the boys, and good play action by Tiani. He surveys the field, as you said. Nothing there, though. Still looking, and finally just has to throw it away. The question is whether it was intentional grounding, but Nicky Galasso was close enough. Teddy Galasso was close enough to the play that it was not intentional grounding.
Hey, if you're going to go Galasso by mistake, Nicky's a pretty good one to go with. Now the kickoff. Here comes Tucker now off the punt return. Tucker spinning his way across midfield to the 40-yard line. And, folks, you could just tell Rashad Tucker is looking to empty the tank in the Long Island Championship. He has been explosive with every touch in his final game as a Red Devil.
And you can hear the crowd, the amp rises every time he makes a cut. Another great cut there, a spin, and finally finds his way to the turf at the 40-yard line.
When Paul Longo looks across and sees Tucker, he's got to think of 2010 when Isaiah Barnes scored 6 touchdowns and Freeport beat William Floyd 62-35. There was a young cat for William Floyd that day on the field named Stacy Bedell. A year later, Bedell, he scored 4 touchdowns and ran for 412 as William Floyd won the Long Island Championship 54-47 over East Meadow. By the way, in the 2010 game when Barnes had 6 touchdowns, Bedell also had 4.
Good tackle by Danny Torres there for William Floyd. First-year junior, started most of the year. He kind of splits time with the guy who I think has the best name in all of Long Island, Mac Driver.
You can never go wrong with a guy named Mac.
He plays like it, too.
Second down, call at 3 for the Red Devils. They are thriving on offense. Breaking it to the outside is Ray. Ray crosses over the 30, inside the 20-yard line. It's going to be a first down as the Red Devils are in the red zone. And right now, William Floyd has to try to find a way to stop the bleeding because Freeport is having their way with this defense.
And again, it's just a simple situation of getting out into space, and that's what Jared Ray does there and gets out to the sideline, and timeout is called.
Good block by A.J. Grayson. And, the one thing about a well-coached bunch of Red Devils and William Floyd, hey, if Ray's carrying the ball, Grayson and Hood and Oliver and Tucker, they're all blocking. Hey, if the other guys if Hood is carrying it, then Grayson is blocking and Ray is blocking. I mean, just because you're a playmaker for a Russ Selland Freeport team doesn't mean you are not going to play every facet of the game. That's what makes this group of playmakers so special. They play with one another. They play for one another.
Yeah, it's very much a team mentality for these guys, and it always has been for Russ Selland. Yeah, there's always been those movie stars, but they all do very much play for each other in one common goal, which is, of course, to end the season with another Long Island championship.
Well, they've made the early statement so far. 22 minutes of football. They're knocking on the door once again. Here's Tucker on a shotgun. This is a keeper all the way. Tucker to the second level. Tucker is going to go into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Freeport as the Rashad Tucker show continues in the LIC.
What a job by Tucker. And again, you see the smile on his face. And the Freeport crowd loving what they're seeing. It's just a special, special show that we're seeing Rashad Tucker put on here at Hofstra. 17-yard touchdown run. And how about the cut at the 5-yard line that he makes?
Prespri got it on the extra point. And Freeport has 28 on the board in less than 23 minutes. Less than 23. They've done it in less than 15 minutes.
What was the score of that last one? 62 what?
Yeah. 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And watch Rashad Tucker on a design keeper. He finds a crack, and he takes it the distance.
Oh. And there's that cut that I mentioned at the 5. Just so elusive. I mean, how do you tackle him, really? Because those legs are always moving.
Well, when he got to the second level, Chris Alexander gave him a great block.
Yeah.
And there was nothing but daylight there. 4 plays, 40 yards. Took less than a minute. Oh, Dr. Tucker with the 17-yard touchdown run. So he's thrown a touchdown pass, run for a touchdown in the game. 2 passing, 1 rushing.
It's hard to keep up with at times.
I mean, is his nickname Thorpe or what?
Yeah, I tell you, coming into the Nassau Conference 1 playoffs, you figured a guy by the name of Jordan McClune had exclusive rights to that award because the way that he ran all year, Farmingdale's all-time leading rusher. But then when they play Freeport the second time in the Nassau Conference 1 final, he's held to 48 yards on the ground, McClune, a couple short touchdowns, and Tucker has an unbelievable game in that game. To me, that's what separates the two as Ray gets up past the 30-yard line on the kickoff return. That's why I believe Rashad Tucker should be the Thorpe Award winner.
Well, Russ Selland told us that there is nothing like the motivation of being humbled in defeat. And on September 30th at Farmingdale, the Dalers beat Freeport for their only loss of the year, 31-20. Hey, did it all go their way that day? Did they get every call? No. Did they execute? No. Bottom line, they lost a game. But you know what? That number one loss on their schedule the whole season bothered them. It motivated Tucker. And Dylan, I always say it, you give an accomplished group of athletes something to prove, look out. And they came into the postseason with something to prove. It was evident in the Nassau Finals, in a team that had beaten them, Farmingdale. They not only beat Farmingdale, okay, they went right through them in that 53-28 victory. There was no stopping Freeport on that day. And you go back to that September 30th day, Russ Selland will say, it's not always the worst thing to lose a game.
I'll tell you what, I was there that day at Don Schneider Stadium, and Freeport had a lead in the fourth quarter. There were a few, let's call them questionable spots on measurements, and certainly one or two things go the Red Devils' way. They're right now undefeated.
How good does Baldwin look now, the way they traded punches with Freeport in the Nassau semifinals?
Yeah, that's that great rivalry there between those two schools. And Freeport nearly lost that game, too. They had a rally late. But, of course, it was Tucker again doing the job, finding Hood, finding Campbell.
Hey, he said we were an underdog in that Nassau final. And when it was all over, said and done, Russ Selland, who has four Long Island championships to his credit, said it was one of the best performances I've ever seen out of one of my teams.
They went from underdog to the top dog.
Mac Driver now on the keeper to the left side, and Mac Driver finds some daylight. Driver engages with Jalen Hood. So Big Mac.
Yeah, he goes 32 yards, and we've seen this on occasion. Well, they'll run a wildcat with Mac Driver, and that is the situation here. You see Driver get the ball, cuts outside, good job, and he is a big dude, Mac Driver, and he finds a way to get upfield. 6'2", 225. And by the way, yes, a 10th grader.
Just a sophomore is Mac Driver. So 1st and 10 now for William Floyd. It's Driver once again. And now you can see what Paul Longo is trying to do. He is challenging this young team by putting Driver in there to run this offense. But he runs right into Big Mexico.
Yeah.
Joel Cruz. Joel Cruz has been one of the physical leaders of Freeport football from day one this season. He's come a long way and become the leader at the point of attack.
Yeah, Cruz, we talk about all these guys, they're wrestlers, they're lacrosse players, not Cruz. He is a football guy, 6'3", 310, that's all he does.
Back in there at quarterback now, handing it off is Tyani. Tyani now to Silva. Silva gets loose a little bit. He'll have a first down. So William Floyd now responding.
Finally taken down by 54.
And again, that's what Silva has the ability to do. Get out into space and create something seemingly out of nothing. A big run here, and here's another look. Silva behind the big dudes up front, especially big number 63, Rocky Davis. Nice block.
Yeah, Rocky Davis. And those guys, man, been tone setters all year. Athletic two-way starter. 3rd year on the varsity is Rocky Davis. As they continue to pound it up front.
25.
This offensive line for William Floyd has had a special year. You mentioned they thought they'd come in thinking wide open spread.
Yeah.
But when they got to look at these cats up front, did Paul Longo, Rocky Davis, and Keith Burbage, the left guard, Greg Amato, the center. Amato, 3 years, a captain, a Zellner candidate, the right guard, Brian Carney, the right tackle, Nick Goldie, the tight ends, Joya and Bradley. These guys have gotten a Suffolk County push from the word go this year, and they pushed their way all the way to Hofstra the day after Thanksgiving. 2nd down now. 2nd back through is Silva. Silva gets a ride on his back from Dewar, but look at Silva. He would not give up on that play. Nick Silva just keeps those legs churning. Paul Longo says of Nick Silva, just one of those guys
58.
naturally strong.
Savion Dewar,
Just
68,
naturally
Joel
strong.
58.
And he grew up playing running back and linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
But they called him up in the 9th grade. One thing I like about Silva, when you look at his body, he also plays basketball.
Yeah.
He comes down the lane, look out.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Third down 3.
So Tyani now on a 3rd down. Robert making his 14th start of his varsity career at quarterback. Second back through is Tate. Tate up towards the 1st down, moves the pile forward.
James Tate.
And James Tate will have a 1st down for William Floyd.
Inside the 15 down to the 11.
Good, hard, charging, running by James Tate. One thing about Tate, they knew he was fast because of his exploits on the track and field team, but he has done a great job running with some power.
11-yard
Yeah, he's
line,
got
first
that
down and
sprinter
10.
speed. He can get past the line. He runs that 200-meter for the Floyd track team, but you're right. It's not all about just getting outside. It's running between tackles. He does that really well.
Teddy Galasso, the fullback, the lead blocker. Here's Silva following him straight up the gut. He runs into a wall of Red Devil,
Floyd stays on the ground.
and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Stopped by 51.
It's not the offense
Corey
you've
Crandall.
seen in the vintage William Floyd teams. The offense is led by guys like Sedaris and
Inside the 10
Jakowski.
at the 9-yard line.
You know, it's
Second
a
down, 8.
little different now this year playing this power football. I mean, they don't have the Stacy Bedell out there, but they have still gotten that Suffolk County championship under their belt. And that's why you got to credit Coach
4 minutes,
Longo
6
and
seconds
his staff.
remaining in the
That's
first
why when
half.
I think about Paul
Freeport
Longo,
ball,
I think about a
timeout.
guy who should be nicknamed Mr. November. Because this guy has a way of bringing teams together as the season rolls along. And sometimes as a coach, Dylan, you got to reinvent yourself a little bit with the personnel you have. He didn't have that ultra athletic playmaking bunch. He had a bunch of tough, nasty kids out of Mastic Beach who could push people around. And he said, you know what, in the summer, this is what we're going to be. We're going to go right at people, move the chains, control the ball. Suffolk champs.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, of course, you look at the way they got here, and not the easiest ride, of course.
Well, in the first round, they took out Bayshore, but then you see the defending Long Island champs Longwood 28-0. They got all they could handle by the Patriots of Ward Melville, who turned into a great story.
Yeah.
Making their first appearance in the Suffolk Final in 29 years. Knocked out undefeated Jeremy Ruckert and Lindenhurst in emphatic fashion. William Floyd, though, found a way in that Suffolk Final.
Yeah, 28-21, and they had a deal with the playmakers of Ward Melville, guys that we see play both lacrosse and football, and here they are now in the Long Island Championship again. Big 2nd down.
Here's Tyani now. Hands off to Tate. Nothing there.
James Tate tackled at the line by 59.
Nothing doing as Deshaun Thomas shot a gap right there in number 59. Stopped that play cold as Tate could go nowhere.
Yeah, he really did an unbelievable job. Deshaun Thomas did. 6 foot 195. Really got into the weight room in the offseason and changed his body. You could see a transformation in terms of his build, but also his confidence as well.
3rd down and long. They could still get a 1st down. Split wide right is DeAndre Primus. Here is Tyani. Little play action, back to throw. Ball is batted down and intercepted. The pressure was there by Torrey Crandall. And Fitzy has himself a pick in the Long Island Championship. William Floyd will look at the film and they will see Michael Bradley has all kinds of space in the end zone. But Tyani could just not get it off.
And you mentioned the pressure by Crandall and then Big Fitzy with the pickoff. What a job by the Freeport defense and a big stop for the Red Devils. They've got 3:16 to work the ball down the field and really take such a commanding lead.
Well, for Torrey Crandall, Russ Sellen told us about about Fitzy and all he meant, but that play was made by Crandall, who put the pressure on the QB.
And that was the first INT of the year that Rob Tajani has thrown. Again, doesn't throw the ball often, but that time found themselves in trouble, first with the pressure, and then, of course, Fitzsimmons coming in after.
Now on first down, to the right side is Grayson. Grayson breaks the tackle, still on his feet. I mean, they turn defense into offense in a hurry. William Floyd in the red zone, looking to make it a two-possession game once again. The turnover, and now 25 yards on this scamper.
And again, just gets to the outside and finds his way down the Floyd sideline. Grayson, we talk about his speed, and he also is very, very physical. He loves playing defense, doesn't shy away. And again, a junior, so he's back again for this next year to lead the Red Devils.
Russ Sellen's team has possessed the ball for less than 7 minutes. They've had 4 touches. They've had 4 touchdowns. They have put on an offensive show here in the Long Island Championship. Great job by Rocky Davis there, shooting the gap. And Davis will trip up the ball carrier for a 3-yard loss. Not many negative plays for Freeport on offense. Davis gave us one there.
Yeah, 3-year starter, a two-way player. You see the speed and physicality of big old number 63, 5'11", 240. Second and long, but really, does that mean anything to these Freeport Red Devils?
Well, we talk about this young group of William Floyd. Davis is a veteran, and boy, will they miss him. Paul Longo said he's one of the best two-way players in all of Suffolk County at the point of attack. Here's Tucker now. A flag comes in.
Second down pass.
That can't be
Could
on
be an
a...
illegal man downfield. It looked like Tucker,
There is a flag on the
because
play.
Fitzsimmons was way downfield on that one. Looked like they were running middle screen, but William Floyd sniffed it out. They did not even pursue Tucker there. So Tucker just had all kinds of time. But I think Fitzy was blocking downfield, thinking that the screen pass was thrown behind him. So there will be the call. They will decline it. Or will they?
I think there's a couple of calls on this.
An eligible man downfield is the call.
There was the ineligible man, which...
That's what they'll mark off.
Yeah. See, originally I thought maybe they were going to call him for intentional grounding, but obviously there was a receiver right near the sideline.
One thing about Freeport, they get so many big chunks of yardage. You might have wanted to take your chances with third and 12.
Oh, look at that. Now they'll get a push for the offside with the jump on the line. But you mentioned, Jim, about the time of possession for Freeport. It doesn't get less than the time of possession they had against Oceanside early in the year. Now, Oceanside, Rob Blount, of course, tried all kinds of trick plays. He ran the Wildcat a million times in the first half, and only 2 plays did Freeport run in the first half.
What?
2 plays.
2 plays.
2 touchdowns.
In the entire half.
That's it. 14 points on the board.
Here's Tucker now on second down.
Running the middle
He'll
of the shot,
cross over the
Tucker
40-yard
takes
line and
down.
bring up a third down
26,
and
Brandon
about
Zach.
6. Rashad Tucker. This guy is right out of Central Casting when you're thinking about a playmaker. A little banged up on that play, but he has been a
And
wonderful
7,
face
third
of the
and
franchise for the Red Devils of Freeport. Great offseason, great leadership. He just plays with the kind of enthusiasm and energy that is infectious amongst his teammates. You told the story. As a freshman, he was the JV quarterback for the whole year. DeVell Hooks gets hurt. They go to Syosset in the playoffs on the quick kick here. They go to the playoffs and they give him the call-up. They lost that game, but as Russ Ellen said, with Tucker, the freshman quarterback, we almost beat him.
Yeah.
But the seed had been planted by number 5, that he was about to take over the operation. It's been a progressive climb for Tucker, but it culminated this year with the Nassau County Championship and now an appearance in the LIC, and they lead by 21 points with a minute to go in the half. And finally, they've punted the ball.
Yeah, they also punted it on 3rd down, but that's one thing that Selin says is so interesting about Tucker as a punter. That wasn't obviously a traditional punt situation, but when he goes back and punts, no one goes after him because they all assume he's going to run the ball. So he's got 10, 15 seconds to punt the ball away.
Russ Ellen was in the red zone there trying to state his case to Bobby Miller. So now on 1st down.
The first down runner is
This is the one thing now for William Floyd. You know, some teams, if you have a minute, you think about going vertical, getting down the field. Really not how they're built.
Yeah, I mean, I with the time winding down, 40 seconds, wouldn't be surprised if they do give it one go. But I like to call there by Selin, just if anything, because it now just pushes Freeport for Floyd down the field and force him to go long field when it's something that's very foreign to them.
On 2nd down now. Here's Tate now getting loose down the left sideline. He will have a 1st down. He'll get out of bounds. But only a few seconds remain here.
18-yard gain.
There is no such thing as a coach's box for Russ Ellen, is there? He's out.
The world is his oyster.
Yes, he's out by the 40-yard line.
Hey, when you're coaching 3 decades at one school, you earn yourself a few privileges. Why not?
Yeah, there's a handful of coaches who have that privilege on Long Island. Buddy Krumanacher, Russ Ellen, Paul Longo.
This should be the final play of the first half on the 25th anniversary of the Long Island Football Championships, an event that started in 1992. What a day here on this silver anniversary in this Class 1 showdown between two of the most decorated programs in Long Island football history. And after 24 minutes of play, the statement has been made by the Red Devil Nation. That statement to Long Island football is the Tuck stops here. Rashad Tucker and the high-flying Red Devils have been all over Suffolk County's Colonials. They lead by 21. Halftime is next, right here on News 12 Varsity. Back with our live look here at James Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. And that scoreboard update brought to you by Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME to get a free The Sloman Shield security system. Shield your home. The Sloman's Shield. It has been all Freeport. 21-point advantage here in this, the 25th edition of the Long Island Championship, an idea born back in the early 1990s. 1992 was the first year, and my goodness, 25 years later, it is the pinnacle event on the Long Island high school sports season. Jimmy Cavallo, Amanda Puglisi, Dylan Butler, our entire News 12 varsity gang. What do you say we look at the first half highlights, and boy, it was a whole lot of Freeport. And Dylan Butler, sometimes a small pass can be a big play, especially when you have Jalen Hood from Rashad Tucker, and the Red Devils were giving you a sign of things to come.
Yeah, that was 44 yards to the house, but then James Tate goes in for 3 yards to pull Floyd within 13-7, and look at his pass by Tucker to Hood right on the money. 49 yards to the house, 21-7, and why not? A little more Rashad Tucker. This, a 17-yard touchdown run. We talked about how he could score with his feet, how he could get it going in the air, and he did a little bit of both. Tucker in the first half, 6 carries for 62 yards in that touchdown, and passing 3 of 5 for 102 yards in those 2 scores. You can see some of those stats. And again, the rushing yards, Floyd has more of them, and they've got more, almost double, or more than double possession time, but it's all about what you do in that possession time, and Freeport doesn't need a lot of time to get those points on the scoreboard.
236 total yards for the Red Devils of Freeport. Lots of big plays. And yes, sometimes, Dylan Butler, time of possession is overrated.
Yeah.
But you got the sense in the national championship that Freeport was focused. They had something to prove. They had one of those good old-fashioned football chips on their shoulder.
Yeah, and we talked about their playmakers and how many there are and how dangerous they are. Look at the first half stats. Tucker, 6 carries, 62 yards. Jared Ray, 6 carries, 41 yards. Grayson, 2 for 31. And then Jalen Hood, 3 touches, 3 receptions for 102 yards and 2 scores. Tremendous work from those guys, those playmakers. And Savion Dewar leading the way defensively. 5.5 tackles. Fitzsimmons, he was a beast the entire first half. 5 tackles as well. On the other side for Floyd, it's all been about the Silva-Tate combination. Silva, 12 carries for 88 yards, and James Tate, 12 for 66. The biggest difference, though, Tyani, 0 for 2, 1 interception, and Tucker obviously having a great day.
So William Floyd is going to have to step outside their comfort zone a little bit, because the Red Devils are a high-flying bunch, and they have been true to form in the first half. They've scored on every possession but one. They have 28 points on the board. William Floyd is going to have to become more explosive on both offense and defense. They might have to score on defense in this one, but somehow, some way, they got to become more explosive.
Yeah, and because they haven't gotten the stops that they've needed. Of course, only that one punt, and that was on a 3rd down for Freeport late in that first half by Tucker. So, yeah, it's uphill sledding for Floyd. They are methodical on offense. They've got to find ways to score quickly and also somehow, some way, keep those explosive Red Devils off the scoreboard, and that's not been an easy thing to do.
This halftime scoreboard update brought to you by the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME to get a free The Sloman Shield security system. Shield your home. The Sloman's Shield. 24 minutes in the books in this 2016 Long Island Class 1 Championship. Does William Floyd have anything left in this football season to make a run at the Red Devils? It will not be easy, but still 2 quarters of football left. We'll step aside right here on the Long Island Championship Friday. Glad to have you aboard on News 12 Varsity. Live look here at James Stewart Stadium. Great crowd on hand year in and year out for the Long Island Football Championships, this being the silver anniversary, year number 25. Advantage Nassau County in the first half of this Class 1 final. Freeport leads William Floyd by 21. Amanda Puglisi has spoken to both head coaches. I'm sure a lot of adjustments in that William Floyd defensive locker room, Amanda.
Well, Jimmy, when I spoke to Coach Longo at half, he says defensively we need to do a better job of wearing down the Freeport offense, especially guys like Jalen Hood and Rashad Tucker. They're just too fast and they're just too strong. Now, offensively for William Floyd, they need to do a better job of possessing the ball, because the longer that their offense stays on the field, obviously the longer Freeport will be on the bench. And at halftime, I also spoke to Coach Sellen, and he told his team, we have to forget about the score. We have to play like it's 0-0. He said this William Floyd team is a really good team, and they're a dangerous team. And if we relax for just 1 minute, they'll take advantage of it. And we have to keep playing the Freeport style of football that has got us here.
And that's what you expect out of both those coaches. I mean, you saw Paul Longo able to maintain. That's what you love about Paul Longo, that positive disposition. I'm sure he didn't dwell on the negative too much. Trying to stay energetic, upbeat with his club. He knows they had a tremendous accomplishment in winning a Suffolk County title, but when you take on this guy's Red Devils, when you look at the complexion of the Freeport season this year, this team is peaking with some high-profile athletes at the right time.
They are absolutely playing their best football at the right time. And their game against Farmingdale, an A-plus game. This one right up there as well for the Red Devils.
And William Floyd will have to give the ball back to Freeport, who is looking for an onside kick here. Look at this. They have 10 men up on the ball here. 10 guys in the box anticipating that maybe William Floyd will start this second half with an onside kick. They'll try the flop kick. Hits into a good spot. Little no man's land. This is a free ball, but jumping on it is Jared Ray. That is just how you draw it up. With the flop kick, you try and find a little empty space where the ball's going to bounce around. It did just that, but Ray dove on it.
Yeah, there was a lot of room. Probably about 15, 20 yards there behind that initial group of Red Devils where you could put it, and that's exactly where he did put it. Caused some problems for a moment, but the Red Devils get the ball back. Big possession in this game. Longo talked about getting better defensively. They've got to show that in this first drive.
Rashad Tucker ran for a touchdown, threw for 2. So here we go. Second half is underway of this Long Island Championship. That keeper will not go anywhere. Keith Winfrey, the bruising sophomore on defense for William Floyd, and the reason why the Colonial Nation has a lot to look forward to as they move forward in the 2017 high school football season. Silva, just a sophomore. Tyani, the QB, just a junior. He'll have 14 varsity starts under his belt. Will Robert Tyani.
How about Winfrey? He'll have 48 starts in his career possibly, because he started as a 9th grader as well.
Mac Driver. Winfrey runs right past the ball carrier, but then turns around and gets the tackle. Oh, Keith Winfrey. I mean, Dilly, this is a guy, 230 pounds, great footwork on that one. Number 8 ran past the play and then wheeled around to make the tackle along with Bradley.
And Mike Bradley, Longo doesn't shy away from calling him, he believes, the best linebacker, certainly in Suffolk County, if not all of Long Island. Really good baseball player, too. He's got great hands, very athletic. A returning all-county linebacker is Bradley.
The hot corner for baseball. Third down now. Tucker slings it out. Beautifully thrown ball. That's going to be a first down. Oh, what a throw there to Grayson. This is not an easy throw to make. From the hash, watch Tucker put something on this one.
Yeah, exactly where he needs to be. Good job pulling it in by Grayson as well. Had a bit of a bobble early, but then corralled the football.
Now, you like Grayson's approach there. Don't try and catch it upright, trying to make an even bigger play. First and foremost, secure the ball and move the chains. That's just what they did. So now 1st and 10. They'll give off to the left side. Turning upfield is Ray. He'll run out of bounds. Chased out that time by Mac Driver. Mac the knife on the prowl there.
Yeah, and another, of these guys, a 10th grader as well as Mac Driver. He just this year converted to outside linebacker. It was more of a safety a year ago, but he's made a great transition. Of course, he's got the size as well to play that position at 6'2", 225.
Split wide right is Nick Oliver and Grayson. Here is Tucker. He'll fake it and go nowhere because Rocky Davis was all over him. Davis playing the quarterback all the way. And amongst all these puppies, Davis, the old veteran, the 3-year starter. Watch him corral number 5 here. Great eyes.
Read it well. Absolutely. I was about to say the same thing. Because Tucker can make those moves and those jukes, and if you read his head, he can bounce a lot of different ways. You just read the hips, and he made a great tackle.
Wonderful season of leadership for Rocky. Now Tucker on 3rd down. Tucker now escapes the pocket. Tucker still on his feet. He'll make it interesting, but he'll come up well short. And now Freeport will have to punt the football. So that is a win for the defense of William Floyd and Michael Bradley. Because when Tucker gets loose, good things can happen. Not an easy guy to tackle. And if you're Bradley in this defense, bringing the punt team on is a victory.
And here's another look. Tucker tries to go downfield. Nothing there. Rolls out to his right. And nice tackle by Bradley. And here is the first true punt by Tucker.
Tucker gets it off. It'll roll inside the 25-yard line. So if you're Freeport, you'll take that. Well, William Floyd has now stopped Freeport on a couple of possessions in a row, something to build on. And Paul Longo's defense will come out. Paul Longo, you look at his career in the LIC, he's 2-0 versus East Meadow, 2-1 versus Farmingdale, 1-0 versus Baldwin. Against the Red Devils of Freeport, it's been an issue, 0-3. Lost to him in 2003, 2009, 2010. 10-time Suffolk County champ. 10 for Paul Longo. That's quite a number. Silva spins off the first contact. He ran right through Big Mexico. But Big Mexico put enough of a lick on him to stop his momentum.
Big Mexico, Joel Cruz, in the Nassau Conference 1 championship game, had a 73-yard touchdown run. That's right. That 6'3", 310-pound dude went 73 yards to the house. He thought he was one of those playmakers, right? You go Hood, Grayson, Tucker, Big Mexico.
Hey, he's in the touchdown category
right.
with all those guys. Big, strong. Hey, he went from part-time to full-time on both sides of the ball and become the leader. As Russ Sellin said, all roads go through Joel.
And how about that bus ride back to Freeport from the Nassau Conference 1 championship game? Now, all of the full-time starters are generally like in the one bus, right? So they can talk to Sellin, and then you got some other guys with Cruz and other guys in that second bus. Cruz is on that bus with a lot of those backups, and one of his teammates yells out at one point, "Hey, Joel's got more touchdowns than anybody in this bus."
The legendary bus rides, and what a win it was for Freeport in that Nassau championship. Remember, they had lost to Farmingdale earlier in the season, but in the rematch, you look under the hood, good things happen when you're talking about this motor for Freeport, Jalen Hood.
Yeah, he goes 99 yards to the house. That is the opening kickoff of the game.
Baby, that's how you want to start a game. But what a year for Campbell and Freeport. And Campbell got into the scoring column, too. 19 touchdowns on the year for Mr. Campbell.
Yeah, Elijah finds the end zone, and how about a little Rashad Tucker?
Just an amazing night for Rashad Tucker. Look at him navigating his way through the Farmingdale defense. 53-28 was your final. Floyd finding the tight end there. Good looking play into the hands of Bradley.
Yeah, we talked to the play action before, and you mentioned earlier when Tyani throws the INT, Bradley was open in the end zone. This isn't a guy that we've seen during the year catch a lot of footballs. But, hey, he was open. You mentioned the hands, the baseball background, and there's a look over the middle, and Bradley makes the reception. Usually it's been guys like Ray who have made the catches, Primus as well, but big number 44 finds his way as well.
So it's a first down for William Floyd. They'd love to have something to show for this first drive. They go play action. Got a man downfield and A.J. Ray. And Tyani just overthrows him. So Ray had a couple steps on the defense.
And absolutely, that was 6 points right there. If he just gets it right on the money. And you wonder, too, by not throwing the ball as often as Floyd does, if that doesn't affect the QB. Doesn't really get into a rhythm, doesn't really throw the ball a lot. So when he tries to go downfield, put a little bit extra on it. and just misses Ray.
Tiani, beautiful job of hiding the football there on the play action.
Oh, he's great on the play action.
He got the secondary to bite. Ray had a step, so now second down. Second back through is Silva. Silva. He'll push forward for about 4 or 5 on the play. Good strong tackle on the edge, again on defense by Dewar. Dewar, number 58. Really active day on that point of attack at that defensive end spot.
Yeah, Dewar, 2-year varsity guy, first year starting on both sides of the ball. He was so deep, or they were so deep in the line last year that it was tough to get him a lot of reps, but he's there this year. You see the size, good-looking senior for the Red Devils.
He loves it, too. Russ Ellen said he is just having a great time playing high school football with the buddies he grew up with in Freeport, New York, and his play has shown. Nothing doing here. Big Mexico comes a call into Hofstra. Joel Cruz. You get into the Cruz clutch. You are not getting out.
That was cruise control for the big fella. Here he goes again. Look at that. Just wraps him up. Gets a little help from Fitz. Nothing doing there.
Joel Cruz.
And he's a great personality as well. He's kind of that class clown a little bit of the Red Devils. He's always joking around, and he brings a bit of levity to the situation.
Well, it's a good job by the Freeport defense, Dylan, as Floyd will have to punt it away. And look at this. Chasing it backwards is Tucker, and that might just add to the drama. Tucker now puts on the brakes, tries to escape. Nice job by the coverage team, the punt team for William Floyd. They'll tackle him just outside the 10-yard line.
And it was Cruz who came all the way up the field, the punter, coming down the field to make the tackle. And that situation on that punt was similar to what we saw in the Nassau final, the second touchdown kickoff return by Hood. He catches the ball, goes backwards, Hood did, fumbles the ball, gets a little, Sellen's like, please get down, just drop down, and he goes 79 yards to the house. And now the worst field position of the day so far for Freeport. They will start on their own 13-yard line.
So the senior QB, Rashad Tucker, starts this drive off just outside his 10-yard line. He'll sling it out on a lateral, now running backwards once again, turning and burning. This is Hoodie. Jalen Hood crosses over the 20 to the 25. And it's amazing what speed can do for you. Hood catches this ball deep. He then runs backwards to go even deeper, but of course makes big positive yardage out of the play and gets a first down.
And I think on any other team, the coach is losing his mind when he sees his receiver do just this, run behind the quarterback at the 5-yard line. But that's no problem for Hood. Gets all the way out to the 25, and he does traverse a lot of distance just on that touchdown on the kickoff return he had. He went 99, and he finds a way to make things happen.
The give is to Grayson. Grayson turns the corner. Grayson falls forward for about 9 yards on the play. A.J. Grayson. Grayson.
11, DeAndre Primus.
Grayson next year, the feature back, but watch the good blocking as these linemen get out into some space. Good physicality that time by Jared Ray out of the backfield, getting himself a block. And Ray, the senior, Grayson, just a junior.
Oliver might have got away with a block and a back at the end of that one.
So he'll actually pick up only about 7 on the play, so second down. Crossing over the 35-yard line for a first down is Tucker. And with all that speed out of the backfield, Tucker runs that little ride and decide, and he keeps it. He's usually got a little daylight to run to.
Timmy Clower with the tackle, number 30. Second-year player, first-year starter, really powerful, especially that lower half of those legs. He gets him churning, and when he gets a grab of a guy, it's usually for a loss.
1st and 10 now. Here's Tuck off the little delay. This is Grayson. Grayson with some room once again. And just good football here by Freeport. Picking up good yardage on first down. Really advances the playbook if you're Russ Selland when you pick up 6 or 7 yards at a clip on first down.
And you see the defense trying to strip the ball. You saw it was Bradley trying to do that. They're going to try to do that now. They're going to look for strips, try to get fumbles. Good protection, though, of the football.
So Tucker now on second down. Tucker gives to the inside. Big yardage here. Jared Ray. Ray crosses the 40. Jared Ray has a first down. And he'll be thrown down to the turf at about the 27-yard line. But Jared Ray once again hitting the hole with authority.
Yeah, and Ray ran right behind Hood. Ran a little crisscross pattern, and Hood did a great job as lead blocker. It's hard sometimes when you're that far up the field of not blocking from behind, but he did a good job. Here you see weaving in, weaving out. And Hood, who made that early block, helped him out there, pushed the ball down the field.
Jared Ray is a captain for a reason. He can carry the load. Russ Selland loves the fact that at 5'7", 160, he plays bigger than he is. Great student in the classroom. Russ Selland said he's been so valuable to us. Little mix-up in the backfield, but coming out of it is Grayson. They will not lose any yards on the play. They actually pick up one, bring up second down and 9 now.
And there's Winfrey, another tackle, flying in. Floyd showed blitz. Very nearly was offside on the play. They came in so fast.
So a positive for Floyd, holding him to 1 yard on first down. And now we'll see where Freeport goes. They've loved the wide receiver screen all day long. Here's Tucker now. Gives it to the inside. Nothing there. This could be a face mask, still on his feet. Keith Winfrey was all over the ball carrier immediately. Winfrey thought he threw him to the ground in the form of Jared Ray, but Ray kept his feet. So we'll see now what the call will be. Could be a face mask against Winfrey. We'll see.
You're right. Winfrey was so quick to that backfield, but it looks like he will be called for a face mask. The only question is whether it's a 5 or 10 yard or 15-yard variety.
It's a 15. Personal foul.
And that
So
just
that
kills
hurts.
you, yeah. I mean, you're looking at a 2nd and 9 from the 25.
It's just a very tough set of circumstances to go against a defender. You read, you react, you explode upon the ball carrier, and you grab on, and sometimes it's just unlucky that what you grab onto is the face mask.
And you see the penalties almost all to Floyd, and a couple of those personal foul varieties as well. Paul Longo getting an explanation.
So first down now, ball just outside the 10. Freeport can get a first down. Here's Tucker now on first down. Grayson has to bounce it to the outside. Grayson now cuts it back to the left. Grayson 15 yards deep. He'll be dragged down to the turf. The swarming defense, the young guns, Mac Driver and Keith Winfrey. And this is a big loss on the play. This will be about a 12 or 13-yard loss.
Yeah, he just about gets the personal foul back, and there's big old Mac Driver. Tell you, we can see just by his makeup, and here you see again. First, the miss by Ezekiel Torres, and then coming back in was Mac Driver, making sure that he gets all of that runner.
But Ezekiel Torres, number 54 for Floyd, his penetration set the whole play up. The running back bounced backwards, and Driver and Winfrey came a-calling. It was a third quarter that featured no scoring. That was good news for William Floyd. But for the Colonials out of Suffolk County, there are only 12 minutes left in the football season. What do they have left? Freeport, 1 quarter away. The Sloman scoreboard says, call the Sloman Shield at 1-800-ALARM-ME. The 4th and final quarter is next. So great to have you aboard here on this Thanksgiving weekend right here on News 12 Varsity, our live images of this Long Island Class 1 championship. And Freeport out of Nassau County is 12 minutes away from winning their 5th ever Long Island championship. And for Rashad Tucker, he was the sophomore starter, the junior starter. And Amanda Puglisi, he did not want to leave anything to chance coming into his senior season. On the field, off the field, he wanted to learn the position. He put the time in, and look where he is now.
And who better to learn the position from than the quarterback coach, Steve Probst? So if you remember, when he was in high school, he was the quarterback at Freeport's rival, Farmingdale. And Probst joined this coaching staff 2 years ago just as a volunteer, and he officially joined the staff this year as the quarterback's coach. And Probst and Tucker have really worked together for the past 2 seasons. And the biggest thing Coach Sellen says that Tucker was able to learn from the quarterback coach is his pocket presence, his awareness, the ability to read the coverages, and also to know that there is a time to run, and then there's also time to be patient, move a little bit in the pocket, and then throw. And if you remember a few years ago, that was really Rashad Tucker's downfall. Not anymore, as you see, he's leading the Red Devils 28-7.
No question about it. I don't know if Probst is going to be at Buddy Krummenacker's Thanksgiving table, but just kidding. Probst, great quarterback in his days with the Dalers, part of that awesome quarterback time on Long Island, and still representing Nassau County. So here we go, Dylan. Final 12 minutes. Our score at the half was our score after 3. The game settled down, but still 21 points separates the two clubs.
Yeah, Rocky Davis, nice tackle before 3rd and 21. But just when you think you've got Freeport pinned, that's when they are their most dangerous.
Here's Tuck now on a long 3rd down. Back to pass. He's thrown 2 touchdowns in the game. Throwing this one up for grabs. Nearly intercepted. 2 Colonials collided. The ball will fall incomplete. They were all over it, though. Brandon Zach, no problem there. The Zach attack, he saw where Tucker was going the whole way. So it'll bring up a 4th and long now.
Yeah, Jimmy, early in the year, Brandon Zach, really such a great playmaker defensively, had a strip against Comac to help win it, an INT against William, against Ward Melville, took it 69 yards to the 1-yard line. Very opportunistic guy defensively for the Colonials.
And just a junior is Zach. Now on 4th down, Tucker will keep it. Tucker trying to go straight ahead. Tucker escapes once, escapes twice. Tucker, everything he had in the tank, but he will come up just short. But nobody adds more to a 4th and 25 than Rashad Tucker. I mean, the double spin, that was awesome. When in a game of, where field position counts, he'll pin William Floyd a little deeper. Well, watch this explosive action by Tucker.
And right there is the first one. Somehow breaks out of that Mac Driver tackle. Another one. And finally pulled down. I'll tell you, though, if you're Russ Sellen, though, that's fine. You don't mind pinning Floyd back on their own 7-yard line. They've got 93 yards to go down the field, 11 minutes to do so, and they are trailing by 3 scores.
So 1st and 10 now for Tyani and company. Here's Robert back to pass on 1st down. Fakes a little hitch. Now Tyani takes a shot looking for Ray once again. Ray was well covered that time. On the coverage, Nick Oliver and Jalen Hood.
Yeah, Nicky Oliver, a guy we haven't spoken a lot about today, but 2-year starter at safety. First year starting on the other side of the ball, wide receiver. A really big hitter. Aggressive, maybe sometimes too much. But his brother Dan, a big physical runner as well. Probably 2 times the size of Oliver as well. But he's got solid hands, really worked on improving his hands a lot in the offseason. And guess what? Another wrestler.
Yeah, they love how Oliver, super aggressive, doesn't back down. Russ said he's a pain in the neck in a good way. In a good way. Gotta love it. Been a very stable force on the defensive side of the ball. Now Tate to the right side. Tate will have the first down. He dragged down inbounds, but James Tate and Jimmy Tate, good-looking run there, will have the first down.
Yeah, Tate threw 3 quarters, 13 carries for 64 yards. Really good-looking tackle too by Hood. Hood is the king of the juke, right? So you know he's not going to get faked out. And here you see again, Tate bounces to the outside and tries to throw a little shimmy. No, Hood's not buying that.
So 1st and 10 now for the Suffolk County champion Colonials of William Floyd. Second back through is Silva. Just a little power I formation football for William Floyd.
Nick Silva.
Paul Longo loves what he gets out of Teddy G. Teddy Galasso, the hard charging fullback, number 35. Teddy Galasso, who Paul Longo said, you know, you mentioned it, Dylan. Maybe you're a lineman. I'll send you down to JV. Teddy said, look, keep me up here. I'll become the fullback. I'll smash everything in sight for these running backs. Paul said, okay. And guess what Teddy G did all season? He smashed everything in sight at the fullback position. Now off the play action, he will be sacked as Tyani. So the pursuit once again, and look who's first man there, Savion Dewar.
Yeah, Dewar did it. And there's an injured Red Devil up the field, but you mentioned Dewar, 6 feet 220, second-year varsity guy, and just plays with such terrific physicality.
Just really clicked for Dewar here in his senior year. He has done it all in leading this team through the Class 1 bracket. And when you think about the Class 1 bracket, here it is. Freeport, listen, give Baldwin, the 3 seed, all the credit in the world, because all of a sudden a 5-point defeat looks pretty good up against the Red Devils, and then the victory over Farmingdale in the Nassau final got them to this. We mentioned Lindy going down to Ward Melville. That was the shocker, undefeated Lindy, and William Floyd beating Ward Melville in the Suffolk Championship. That ball thrown in the direction of DeAndre Primus. Incomplete.
Intended receiver 11, Andre Primus.
Yeah, double coverage up the field for Freeport, who's currently without A.J. Grayson. He's on the sideline right now getting a cramp worked out. We mentioned before the start of the game, it's unusually warm here today for day 1 of the Long Island Championships. And you figure maybe late in the game you'll have a few guys cramping up. That's the case right now for Grayson.
William Floyd will have to punt the football. So the defense answers again for Freeport. Now into the hands of Rashad Tucker. He'll let it bounce. That's a good no-risk situation for Tucker. Why take a chance? You're going to get the ball at midfield. And for all the talk about Freeport's offense coming into this game, during this game, well, right now with 9 minutes left in this championship game, their defense has only yielded 1 touchdown to William Floyd. Time and time again, William Floyd has gotten the ball looking to cut into this lead, make a game of it, get something going. Time and time again, Tucker and the defense have stood tall.
There's a flag up the field, and it'll be picked up. Thought it might have been like a sideline warning against Floyd, but no, you're 100% right. Look, we love talking about those movie stars, those playmakers on offense, those guys that run for 60, 70 yards into the end zone, but this defense has been spectacular. And again, we wondered, right, about the size up front and the physicality, and can Freeport deal with those big dudes up front for Floyd? And they've answered the bell on both sides of the ball.
Russ Ellen knew he was getting an outstanding football team. William Floyd, if not for a miraculous 2-point conversion by Lindenhurst, would be undefeated, but no problem. You're going to have to play 4 quarters, both sides of the ball, all facets, to beat William Floyd. And so far, high marks for Freeport. because for their offense to get the ball up 21 with 9 minutes left is the exact position you want to be in. As you see Ray now hobble out a little bit.
You're seeing that from a few of their guys now. Tucker looks like he's struggling a little bit, and you see him punching the calves, trying to get some of those cramps out.
Is that how you do it?
I think so.
That's like the karate chop cramp.
I think that's the way you do it when you want to stay in the game.
Clock rolls now as we come up on 8.5 minutes to go in this Class 1 Long Island Championship. Apparently the cramp procedure works for Ray.
22 the ball carrier.
There is a flag down on the play.
And that's been the thing for Freeport, too. This will go against the Red Devils, likely to be a holding penalty. They've done a great job these last 2 games, Jimmy, of not beating themselves. That's been the thing about them all year. You wonder, well, I mean, yeah, they obviously only had the one loss to Farmingdale, but they were in some close games, some tight games, and you wonder, how with all these playmakers do they even play a game? How is anyone even close to them? And it's a lot of kind of beating themselves, some penalties, some fumbles. And it's funny, too, you hear Sellen tell it, a lot of times on these kickoff returns and punt returns, you got guys blocking in the back just because guys are freelancing all over the field, going left, going right, going behind guys. So they have cleaned things up really well these last few weeks.
Yeah, on the kickoff returns, punt returns, even a little screen, you might have like 3 or 4 different opportunities to make a block.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes with these playmakers, the play has 3 dimensions. It has 3 chapters to it. After the penalty on second down, bursting out of the backfield is Jared Ray. And now Freeport. They'll just look to use some clock now. It's a 3-possession game. William Floyd only able to find the end zone once in this game so far.
Just over midfield.
And there you saw Jared Ray there again, looking to play at St. Lawrence. A few other Red Devils have gone up there. Great academic school as well.
Third down. Call it 9 now for Tucker. Tucker on the QB keeper. Tucker now spins off. Tucker towards the first down marker. He'll fall forward, and Rashad Tucker will have a first down. And that is just worth about 2.5 minutes to the Red Devils' cause.
Get those 50-50 tickets out.
Just a great little play. They freeze you with the fake, and look at him just burst his way up the middle. I thought he got far enough to the mark, but after the spot, it looks like he is just short of the first down marker. Man, did not get a favorable spot on that one. The ball spotted at the 42-yard line.
Well, you know, we talked about him as a Thorpe candidate earlier this year or earlier in this broadcast, and you look at some of the other guys who have won the Thorpe for Freeport. You go back to 2006, Chris Edmond. How about back-to-back? Chris Richez in 2000 and a guy named DeBrickashaw Ferguson in 2001.
Yeah, I mean, the Roche, DeBrickashaw Ferguson back-to-back, as you see they go for it on 4th down. Going to come down to another spot. That's something that is just unthinkable. Back-to-back Thorpe years. So watch it once again. Freeport goes for it. They're working out a shotgun. It's a 4th and 1. Wow, look at the fill right there by Michael Bradley. That's why he's regarded as one of the best linebackers on Long Island.
0-7-4-2. Please bring your winning ticket to the 4th.
Yeah, Sellen said about Roche and DeBrickashaw, first time ever to have 2 back-to-back Thorpe winners in the same team.
Well, you realize how tough that is to accomplish just from the political standpoint. They don't want to give it to the same school 2 years in a row if it's that close. But if it's not close, that's what you have to do. Timeout on the field on a day at Hofstra where Long Island football celebrates the 25th anniversary of the Long Island Championships. Just a wonderful event. You go back in time, Nick Schroeder, Section 11 football chairman, Bill Piner, Section 8 football chairman, the Pat Pizzarellis of the world. Amanda, they wanted to create an event. They thought going to Syracuse was too much on people. Logistics, cost, not a lot of fans went. They said, let's create a football event to keep everybody on Long Island. 25 years later, they celebrate this wonderful anniversary of the LIC.
And you know, Jimmy, each year it just keeps getting better, and each year, like you said, those group of guys, Pat Pizzarelli, they all just find a new way to just make it even greater than it was the year before. And this year they were inspired because it was the 25th anniversary. So going forward, each game is now going to have a special commemorative coin. So as you see here, of course, this one has the American Eagle. And then on the other side, as I just dropped it, but on the other side you have the tails. And so instead of just having the referees just have the coin and just flip it, each team now is going to have this special commemorative coin. And it's something just really nice that it's another way to just a reminder of, hey guys, you made it here to the LICs. Here's a little keepsake for you.
Great looking play fake here, and this one's going to be intercepted. Driver looked run, then he passed it, and he got it to the wrong guy because that's Rashad Tucker. Interception for Tucker. And the Red Devils, the Red Devil Nation can taste it now. Rashad Tucker adding another play to his LIC resume. He's thrown for 2, ran for 1, and now he's got an INT.
Yeah, Mac Driver goes back to pass. And there is Tucker over the middle. And just like that, like a flip of a coin, Freeport has the ball.
Well, Floyd, it's like running a flea flicker without the flea or the flick. Driver looks like he's running quarterback keeper. He runs into the line, and then he puts the brakes on and comes back out and tries to go deep downfield. But Tucker wasn't fooled at all.
By the way, do we have heads or tails on Amanda when she dropped the coin?
Tails never fails. Now Tucker hands off. The clock moves on for Ray. And we mentioned this 25th year, the silver anniversary. And so many guys had their hands, and I'm sure I'm missing some of the great ones, Schroeder and Piner, of course, and there is Pat Pizzarelli, who has had his prints all over these Long Island championships, getting this event off the ground. One of Long Island's great football guys, Pat Pizzarelli, enjoying year number 25 here in the LIC. A full day of football here on News12Varsity.com. Coming up straight ahead, the Redmen of East Islip. Maybe they shocked Long Island when they took out Jack Cohn in Sayville. Guess what? They didn't shock anybody in East Islip. They're taking on the Warriors of Wantagh. Undefeated. Wantagh hasn't given up a point the entire postseason. It's EI versus Wantagh. Straight ahead, live and in living color, right here on Optimum at 4:30. You can also watch it on News12Varsity.com and the News 12 Varsity app.
Now, going back to your point about them making this event, they got it right. Listen, believe me, we've seen games up in Syracuse where there's like 1,000 fans in the big Carrier Dome. It doesn't get better than these 2 days. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and then the last few years, the Sunday that follows. These 2 days, it's a true event. Really something that all of Long Island football looks forward to.
Second down now. Not much there. Hey, listen, it was part of that is what, like you said, dwindling crowds, making that long drive to Syracuse. It was costly for the teams. It was costly for the fans. Listen, I'm sure New York State on some level did not like not having Section 8 and Section 11 as part of the New York State playoffs, but for Long Island, it's been a great move because there's nothing like an event in life. And the Long Island Championships has become an event every year. The Friday after Thanksgiving, the crowds, the people gather to see two teams representing their respective counties, looking for that one piece of supremacy that they'll take with them for the rest of their football lives.
Now we lose the intrigue, right? Is New Rochelle better than Freeport? We don't know. They don't play each other. But I think when you see crowds like this, when you see the alumni come back, and we saw it even in some of our visits, right, from the different schools, alums coming back and helping out. And so Brett Stewart from Garden City, right? He's at Princeton. He comes back to help out as well. And the alumni, it's a great weekend for this, and you don't want to take that away.
I'm sure Troy is very happy that Freeport is not involved in the New York State playoffs. Jared Ray on first down.
Collected by Keith Winfrey.
On second down, I should say. It brings up the third down. Clock continues to roll now. 5.5 minutes left. Ray still trying to work out those LIC cramps.
Yeah, first he did the karate chop, and now he's jumping around like House of Pain.
He does the chop, the hop, whatever it takes.
Got 101 yards now.
Hey, listen. There's a sense of urgency because for Ray and company, these seniors, it's their final moments as Red Devils.
Michael Bradley, woof, coming in hard. He's still playing, Jimmy, that's for sure.
Well, Bradley, no shame in his career at William Floyd. Brought this team along. You know, they took their lumps as sophomores and juniors, but in his senior year, Bradley has brought the noise and delivered as a Suffolk County champ. And you could see why Paul Longo talks about Bradley as arguably the best linebacker in Suffolk County. You can see this in all the action. Wire-to-wire coverage of the 2016 Long Island Championships. The Sports Rush on News 12, Sunday nights at 9:30. Talk about a tradition and a great history. The Sports Rush every Sunday at 9:30.
Hayani goes out to Ray. Ray tries again to find some space. It's not there, just gets 5 as the clock continues to dwindle down. And Freeport gets even closer to another Long Island championship.
They toss it out there, and that one is complete into the hands of DeAndre Primus. So Primus will haul it in.
Primus reception moves the ball 14 yards to the 46. Colonials first down.
So William Floyd now, and their junior QB, Tyani. Tyani, good time here. Takes a look to the short route. Those are underneath to Ray. Ray turns and burns. He'll have the first down. So you're on the hop now if you're William Floyd. The clock will stop momentarily as they move the chains, but you got to be conscious of the time. Only 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in this LIC.
You know, I've said it throughout the year. I think I've seen Floyd about 6 times now where they can throw the ball. Look, Tyani has that ability. They've got the receivers, but again, the way they've played all year, when you get the push from the guys up front and you've got those punishing backs, they haven't needed to throw the football. So why change things? But of course, now they do have to go to the air.
Tyani flushed out of the pocket. Now Tyani running for the sideline. He will not get there. Oh, man. That is a clock winding hit right there by the hoodie.
Yeah, Tyani's mistake, I think, is that he hesitated, and Hood did not hesitate. He kept coming, and he kept charging. There you see Tyani try to get something, rolls out of the pocket. He knows he's going to the sideline, but there, he takes a peek, and he sees Hood. Hood and the new ref, Sellen, winding his clock there.
Now on the rollout, out to the flats. This one is complete.
Over the top.
Again, it is Tyani to Primus.
Yeah, Primus, a really good two-way player. He tore his ACL in a 7-on-7 last year before the start of the year. Missed the entire year, but he's back. He's healthy, playing great. He had a pick 6 this year against Connecticut. He's playing for his final 3 minutes. It's just 9 seconds of his high school career.
And it's just a great journey by Primus to come through that ACL. All the therapy sessions, all the pain and the gains were there for Primus this year. And William Floyd, way to get back on the field, DeAndre.
And again, they wind the clock. Thought he might have got out of bounds, did not. And that was another tackle, that one by Oliver. Great job.
Well, it's a judgment call whether forward progress was stopped or not. The Floyd coaching staff, to say they're unhappy would be an understatement. So the clock continues to wind now. We come up on 2.5 minutes left. Tayani now takes a look. Tayani now tries to escape, but Big Mexico will take him down to the Hofstra turf. Joel Cruz.
And how about this run here for Joel Cruz, the 6'3", 310 senior. He reps like 315 when he's in the weight room. And here's a great line by Russ Sellen. All roads go through Joel.
Third down now. Tayani takes a look. Good time. Coverage is there. The pocket collapses. Tayani into the end zone. This is going to be a touchdown. Nico Rodriguez. Nico Rodriguez went down and caught it. And Tayani has a touchdown pass in the Long Island Championship. Good concentration on the ball by Nico.
And also a great job, too, by Tayani just to stay poised in the pocket, rolled out to his left, and finds Rodriguez. Started a year ago. He's coming back, or he came back from an injury.
David DeSanto, his holder.
One of those baseball guys, and good athlete, good hands. Showed it there. That's not an easy catch to make.
Extra point is good. Extra point off the foot of Sebastian.
But here it is again, Jim. You see Tayani under all kinds of pressure. Ducks out. Curls, puts the ball down for a second. Looks like he's going to throw a run. But then he finds Rodriguez right in the front corner of the end zone. And there it is again. That's a great look at it. Look at the job by Rodriguez.
Robert Tayani, 16-yard touchdown pass to Nico Rodriguez, supplemented by the kick by Sebastian Panisia.
Excellent job by Mike Denisi on the prowl there for that News 12 varsity camera look, and that touchdown's got to feel good for Rodriguez. He's a senior. 9 plays, 73 yards, took 3 minutes. And Nico, 17-yard touchdown reception from Tayani. And you could just see kind of the senior embraces here. Mike Parris, the junior, but for Nico, he's put the time into with his Colonials. And, you know, it's been an interesting year last couple of weeks for Paul Longo. The joy of winning this Suffolk County Championship and making it to the Long Island Championship, but they were hit with a punch to the gut a few weeks ago when their 2013 quarterback, Eric Brust, was in a life-threatening car accident. It is a miracle that Brusty is alive. They gave him the game ball after the county championship, and they were motivated by Brust and his recuperation in this terrible set of events, but they're so happy to have Brusty around. As you see, the onside kick goes right into the hands of Jalen Hood. So they wanted to make sure, did Coach Longo, that we gave Eric Brust. Get well soon, buddy. We're glad to hear you're progressing there. And once a Colonial, always a Colonial.
And you can see the Red Devils, the celebration beginning on the sideline. Russ Sellen wants to call a timeout, and you got to figure here, is this an opportunity to maybe give some seniors, right? Some guys who have worked hard at practice, an opportunity to maybe get some time in the Long Island Championship, get their names in the box score a little bit. Cheerleaders excited. And, you know, it's a funny situation, Jim, when we went out to meet with Russ Sellen. His setup at Freeport, I think unique is a good way to describe it. They don't practice at the school. They're a few blocks away. What is it, Cleveland Avenue, I think it is? And,
yeah.
We asked him And it's that way for home games. They do their warm-ups at their practice field, and they bus over to their home school to do the games. And we said, why did you do that? He said, well, the field house is over there. As if you can't move the field house to the to the high school field. But he's all about tradition. He's all about the way things have been at Freeport. And Russ Selland would have it no other way.
Well, those great 30 years of pregame speeches by Russ Selland, they're given on the bus. That is their last moment. They are dressed, ready, warmed up, and they're on the bus going to their home games. It's unique, it's different, but it's part of the identity of Coach Selland and the Red Devils of Freeport. And now Tucker and company try to still use some clock. Only a 2-possession game still for Freeport. And with memories of guys like Malik Maverick a couple years ago here as Lawrence pulled a rabbit out of a hat against Sayville, you're going to play this game right to the end. Final 90 seconds now. But for these guys on Freeport, these seniors that are out there now, these seniors who are on the bench like Jared Ray out there now, and for the seniors on the bench, the guys working hard in practice every day to get those reps for the starters like Tucker. Sophomore and junior year, early exits for this bunch. Senior year, last opportunity. Ball pops out there.
And I think it is Floyd Ball. Bradley with the tackle.
Wow, it looked like
was he down
Ray
on contact?
was down when the ball popped out. It looked like the ball actually projected off the ground, but nevertheless, the ball will go to William Floyd.
Look at his tackle by Bradley. Still playing. Look at this. And wow, he absolutely was down already. That's not a good call. Russ Selland letting the officials know that.
Definitely a tough call to get a good look at because Ray was being whipped around and spun in a bunch of different directions, but it'll go down as a turnover now, so Coach Selland will have to send his defense back on the field. So Russ Selland looking to fill a void. Freeport, when you look at the ledger of Class 1 champions, there was a lot of Red Devil. You look at the last 10, starting with 06, William Floyd, back to back. Connecticut in 08. And here come the Red Devils. The back-to-back in 2009, 2010. Back come the Colonials. 2011, 2012. Wow, Dave Falco and Sachem North. What a moment for those guys in 13. How about the Braves of Syosset ringing the bell in 2014? And then Coach Sip and Longwood. Sip's boys pushed their way around for the whole kit and caboodle, the Long Island Championship. Got to remember, William Floyd also won it in 2005.
And it's been a few years for Freeport. 2010, the last year that they had this win. There's the two coaches.
Yeah. You mentioned this guy, Barnes. And just Freeport, the Red Devils. This was the 2010 game, taking on William Floyd. And just an epic show on this day. I mean, you want to talk about putting your stamp on a game. Isaiah Barnes, 6 touchdowns in the game as Freeport goes 62-35. Victory, and they got the hardware in 2010 over William Floyd.
Tayani goes to Ray, gets out of bounds. A minute remaining. As you said, crazier things have happened on this field, that's for sure. A quick score, onside kick.
What are you talking? A minute ago, you wanted Russ to put all the other guys in to give everybody a chance in the game. We are under 1 minute now. Tough task now for Tayani. Tayani escapes the pocket. He'll get out of bounds right about the 35-yard line. He'll have the first down. Most importantly, the clock will stop with 54 seconds.
11.
William Floyd looking to add one more ounce of drama into this day by getting into the end zone, which would set up an onside kick to try and get a possession to tie the game. They trail by 14. William Floyd scored a touchdown on the very last play of the first quarter, and that was it until their touchdown a couple moments ago. This ball incomplete. So to bring up second down.
Yeah, Primus unable to pull one in. And take a look at Coach Longo. Amazingly, all these years, he's all the way out there in Holbrook, and the coaches out at Mastic Beach, God's Country, exit 68 of the LIE. He's a Jets season ticket holder. And that's got to be, what, a 4-hour drive to the Meadowlands?
So what you're telling me is all the football glory in his life is in Mastic Beach.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's what you're telling me, buddy.
It's not happening in East Rutherford.
Because I share that passion with the gangrene.
Maybe it's a colors thing, right? Green and white.
I guess being a Jet fan is what keeps Coach Longo football humble. But he has really enjoyed, Paul Longo made William Floyd a tri-state program in his 20-plus years there. A three-peat. It's amazing to think how rare the three-peat is in the Long Island Championship. He's only one of the few schools to do it.
Remember, too, how about that, 2004 to 2006?
Oh, the epic
42-game winning streak. That's never, I shouldn't say never, but that's one of those records you really wonder if anyone will ever break that.
First down.
Because we've seen in the last couple years.
Forget the fact that they won 42 straight games. They won over 20 playoff games in a row at that time. And really just an amazing, magical run. And that's why it was good to see them win that Suffolk County title this year. Because it's a tribute to what the program is, that they just continue that consistency over a time period. 2 years ago, a lot of these guys were young guys. He brought them along. Now some of them are veterans. He's got a young batch of guys on this team once again. You blend them together, Suffolk County Championship. And boy, was he proud of this group and able to get their 10th ever Suffolk County Championship to tie the great Joe Sipp at Bellport.
And that's the thing. When you look at their playmakers, so many of them are just sophomores.
To the sidelines he goes. That one's complete to Nico Rodriguez as we're under 30 seconds left now.
Right, we said their names all day long. So many guys are going to be back on this team.
And it's satisfying because they went to the I formation. He didn't have anybody named Jakowski or Sedaris or Bedell or Otranto or Blair Bynes. He had a bunch of good old-fashioned, tough Linvets, football players from Mastic Beach.
Yeah, those blue-collar workers, and they can certainly have their heads held high.
This pass intended for Rodriguez again. There was some contact in the end zone, no call. And listen, Rocky Davis and Keith Burbich and Greg Amato and Brian Carney, Carney, the 3-year starter, the captain, strongest on the team, just did an unbelievable job in leading them with Goldie and Joya and Bradley. And they're going to come up short. They're going to come up short against a force. And it'll be the 4th time in their history they'll lose to Freeport. And Coach Longo says, it seems like every time I get here, they have an unbelievable team. Here's Rodriguez, cannot get the one and only foot in bounds that he needed. So that'll bring up 3rd down. Pass was complete, but Nico tried to get that 1 foot in bounds. And he was defended nicely.
Here's another look. You see Tyani roll out. And I don't know. I think he got that foot in.
Really?
I do.
You got the laser vision there. That was a tough look. Now 3rd down. Tyani will go down. The clock will tip away. So Russ Ellen, who told this group, our history is not your history. Well, Russ, these guys have some history now. The Red Devils of Freeport are Long Island champions once again. Their 5th in their wonderful football history.
And Sellen said it. There's been so many great playmakers in the history of Freeport football, other guys who have won this championship. He said, hey, I'm putting my guys, this group, right there at the very top with the rest of them. So congratulations to Coach Sellen and the Red Devils.
A game that started out so offensive. Freeport had 28 on the board at the half. They would not score again in the second half, but give credit to their defense. They only let up 1 touchdown, basically, in the first 45 minutes of this game.
And there you see 2 legends, 2 Long Island coaching legends, Longo and Sellen with the post-game embrace. Again, these guys from Floyd, we spoke at the start about them being back. They are back, but Freeport, they are the champions.
The Red Devils of Freeport are Long Island champions once again. And for the senior, the face of the franchise, Rashad Tucker, he has delivered. He goes into the history books as a Long Island champ quarterback. He's with Amanda.
You know, Rashad, I know for you it's always been about bringing the Long Island championship back to Freeport. Your senior year, you finally did it.
Yeah, it's just hard work. I'm going to miss winning this red jersey. You know, it was a way to leave Freeport High School.
You know, you say it was a lot of hard work. You guys were just in control all day. What do you attribute that to?
The line. I love my linemen. We're going out to dinner tonight.
You know, your line, it's interesting you say that because they were such a question mark for you guys coming into this season. How do you think they were able to become such a strong line for you?
They worked hard. And they trust each other. They worked hard in the weight room through the summer. And they're a really good group of guys.
Rashad, everyone was celebrating on the field, and I saw you ran into the stands. You know, you have a special fan there for you. What was that moment like?
It's my mom. I love my mom. I love my mom a lot.
We'll go give her a hug and then go celebrate with your team, Rashad. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Rashad, Mrs. Tucker is the leader of the Tuckers, that is for sure, and Rashad is the leader of the Red Devils. And you know, we love high school football because it's about memories, and when you see big Mexico with the embrace here, because the realization is for a lot of these guys is it's over, and you see the emotion on Tucker's face, and I thought he put it beautifully when he said, I'm going to miss wearing this red jersey.
And I like the other 2 things he said. He's going to take the line out to dinner, which every lineman wants to hear, and he also, and there you see right there with Big Mexico walking off to win the championship.
What an image for the 3 seniors. Ray, Tucker, and Big Mexico. Hey, Big Mexico, you got a dinner coming your way. The final Sloman Shield says Freeport wins it by 14. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Freeport is a Long Island champion. We continue after this.
And you got it done. Congratulations. Great job.
What a moment for Russ Ellen as he addresses his team and the crowd. And for the 5th time in his career, the ultimate Long Island football hardware is going to the Red Devils in Class 1. It's a trophy that when you walk into the building as a freshman playing for Freeport football, you think that trophy is so close to you. But as these seniors find out, it can also be very far away. And for these seniors, they had one last chance to get their chance at history for Freeport football, and they have delivered.
Yeah, look, 3 consecutive quarterfinal losses in the Nassau Conference 1 playoffs. They didn't even get to Hofstra. This year, they get here, and then they get this great team championship photo, which, again, will last a lifetime.
Fitzsimmons and Big Mexico have a hold of that hardware. So that is it. Just remember, News 12 Varsity's wall-to-wall, wire-to-wire coverage of the Long Island Championships continues today. We will be live and in living color at 4:30 as the Class 3 final comes down to this. East Islip, only one LIC in their history, out of Suffolk County, taking on the Warriors of Wantagh, undefeated, looking for their second ever Long Island Championship. We will see you at 4:30 right here. So on this day, it started out with Jalen Hood and the boys from Freeport jumping all over William Floyd. And what was evident early is that the playmakers were going to show up. James Tate would plunge in for William Floyd at the end of the first quarter. But for William Floyd, the toughness would just not be enough, because the playmaker, Rashad Tucker, he would throw for two. He would run for one. And Freeport had the advantage that they wanted to. What a job by Grayson and the boys. Sure, William Floyd would try to battle back all day long, but Tucker put his stamp on the 5th ever Long Island Championship for the Red Devil Nation. Hey, Freeport! The title is coming home in Class 1. Freeport is a Long Island champ. We will see you in a little bit right here on News 12 Varsity.
Spectacular day for football at Hofstra, and here we go. First quarter, Rashad Tucker to Jalen Hood. These were two seniors playing in their final game, 7-0 Freeport, but James Tate and William Floyd would make a game of it, 13-7 temporarily, but it belonged to the Red Devil seniors.
And this is where the game changes just after Floyd scores that touchdown. Look at this perfect pass. Rashad Tucker to Jalen Hood. 51 yards. It's 21-7 Freeport. And then on their next possession, a little more. Rashad Tucker. 17 yards to the house. What a day for the rushing and throwing quarterback. And there you see the scenes. Freeport wins the Long Island Class 1 championship.
They said it in the newspaper, one of their linebackers, we got is speed. We showed our speed off today, and they got the job done.
Long Island Championships, when I say that to you, what does that feel like?
I don't know. It feels like a dream come true. Every little kid that grows up in Freeport wants to win the LIC, and we did it, man.